All righty, you are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Dallas Cowboys. And why are the Dallas Cowboys 0-16? Because they suck. I'm still waiting for them to make a move in free agency because they ain't got no money. The Dallas Cowboys suck. Got smoked at home in the first round of the playoffs. Why? Because they suck. The Dallas Cowboys suck. And so the Eagles. They suck too. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here soon, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody's going to spend time watching a replay this. Once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away. Throw it in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box every 5 to 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free and fire up. But plus also, seriously, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free. Fire away. But before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one makes me almost want to vomit a little bit. I can't change it, so it is what it is. I loved them while I was here. I can't stand them anymore. I can't stand the Eagles. The first membership level I got is called the Saquon. The second one's called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them, so if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me, and I thank you in advance. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. Thank you. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live, if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed, thank you. And maybe if you give this video a thumbs up or share this bad boy, that would be freaking awesome. Thank you. And then finally, also, a little ways down, there's 2 additional links. There's the top one's a Facebook link. The one underneath it, it's a Twitter link. I'm an old-time fart. I can't stand change. You know what I mean? I'm like one of them, get off my lawn, old-time farts, right? I can't stand change, right? It's a Twitter link. It's, to me, it's always been Twitter. It's Twitter today. It'll be Twitter tomorrow. It'll be Twitter 3 trillion years from now. It's Twitter. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call, that's on you, bro. I ain't calling it that. It's Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I'll follow you back. That's an absolute promise. I put Giants-related stuff in my Twitter account every day. And then the link just above it is my Facebook link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 7,900 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, my dad. It's really like on fire. I mean, this past week, I mean, I got, all kinds of, people giving stuff thumbs up or responses or comments and all kinds of crazy stuff going on with the activity of the Giants going over. And they're still going on, right? We're going to go over that in just a minute. But if I'm alive and breathing, if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. And not only do I put stuff in this group, but members post stuff in this group. So if you become a member, members post stuff in it. Between me and the members, there's a ton. There's a boatload. There's an awful lot, you can say, of New York Giants information going in this group every day. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. Hold on. Time out. I got to move the chair for my buddy Rain. Whoa. Watch your head, buddy. Let me move the chair for you. All right. Okay. He's here. All right. Rain's here. We can continue. He's like in a coma. He's always in a coma. And then as soon as I start talking, he wakes up. What's up, Jersey guys? Hey, I have shared the videos with a few. Cool. That's great. Thank you. Cool. Everybody loves to suck. Good. Yeah. Got to get that in there. It makes me feel better, right? My buddy Randy's here too. So, oh man. Well, I mean, we got what does the Vikings trade? Because they're gonna have to ante up, I think, a little bit more than because they ain't got Kirk Cousins anymore. So now, right? they traded away their second round pick, 42, 188, and another second round pick, which you don't know where it's going to be. Now, if they stink, okay, so that might be pick 37, 38, something like that. Okay, but I don't know. The Texans gave up a first-round pick for basically 2 second-round picks. And I said the other second round, the other second round could be like pick 50 or something. So they gave up pick maybe 42 and pick 45 or 50 next season for their first-round selection. Yeah, they also flip-flopped. The Vikings gave him 188, and the Texans sent him back. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Yeah. Vikings sent him 188, and the Texans sent him back 232. But, I don't know about that. I think the Texans got a little railroaded on that one. But this is, because obviously they don't have Kirk Cousins no more. So now they have picks 11 and 23. Very interesting. Now, according to like the Jimmy Johnson kind of whatever, draft capital kind of, right? The Vikings pick 11 is worth $1,250. Pick 23 is worth $760. So basically you combine the two of them together, that's $2,000. Now, because they're going up into the top 3 and it's for a quarterback, the pick 3, according to the Patriots on this chart, is worth 2,200 points. Now, you can't, if it's for a quarterback and all that, you can't just give 2,200 points. That ain't happening. You're going to have to give a more. You got to give whatever, maybe 2,500 points, somewhere around there. So, for the Vikings to give their picks 11 and 23 just to maybe trade with the Patriots, right? Because the thing is that, if you're looking, for a quarterback, right? If they're looking for a quarterback, what do we got? Salary cap concerns in Houston. Oh, could be, yeah. Right. Vikes definitely, Penix, Nix, McCarthy. Well, the thing is that, if they're coupling these, they're going to couple these two picks, and there's a reason why they, possibly to get up into the top 3, right? To move up. Yeah, they get, they got picks 23 and 11. Now, unless, hey, right? Anything's possible. If they're on the McCarthy train and they think that maybe McCarthy might fall to them because they don't have to worry about the Falcons now with the quarterback, right? They do have to worry about, if they're staying put at 11, somebody jumping them. Right? Because it's not, we got pick 11. We'll just wait for somebody to fall to us. It's a cutthroat league, baby. So the thing I'm looking at is somebody, this article too is like, supposedly if it's Giants related, right? It's not, the Giants, some reports of the Giants moving up, maybe, contacting maybe some people as far as moving up. NFL Network says they like Penix. Oh, yeah. Well, Penix ain't, he'll fall to him, So we'll have to wait and see. But, if they're talking about, jumping up in front of the Giants and the Giant, because there's all kinds of reports. You don't know, which ones to believe and all that and everything. But if the Giants were apparently calling around quite possibly to at least maybe the Patriots, because – if you got the Bears going 1, you got the Commanders going 2, that leaves the Patriots at 3. So, if you try to trade up with the Cardinals, okay, but then, all 3 quarterbacks could be gone. Have you heard about we getting Fields? Yeah, I seen that one too. I heard Johnny Unitas is coming out of retirement too. We might be getting, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of crazy stuff. But obviously, the Bears are like in a really almost like a no-lose situation, especially if they're moving on from Fields. If they can take Caleb Williams and they can take offers for Fields. right? The thing is, I mean, they can get a boatload of picks for number one. I mean, they can just back the Brinks up and just say, all right, just take all your picks for the next 13 years and just throw them in the back of the Brinks truck. And when they're all in there, we'll close it and we'll shake hands and we'll drive away and you have the number one pick and we'll have 315 first round picks for the next 37 years. You know what I mean? Right? That's title, yeah. But I mean, the Bears, it's the same thing like with the Patriots. I mean, you keep hearing the Patriots might want to trade back and this, that, and the other thing, you're in a prime position for that, especially with the quarterback draft the way it is. I mean, you can get some nice picks. But as I'm saying, is that with the Viking thing here, right? If they're going to call the Patriots up and say, hey, we'll give you pick 11, we'll give you pick 23, but they still got to have to give more. For maybe obviously another second round pick, maybe something else or whatever. If the Patriots are moving out of pick 3, they gotta, they're going back. They got to get a lot more than that. Oh yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the beauty of where they're at. They can. It's kind of like I don't know if Daniels falls to them. Do they like Daniels? I mean, they might have two scenarios. Well, we want Caleb Williams. I mean, I'm saying the Patriots. We want Caleb Williams or we want May. If those two guys are gone, we're picking the phone up, right? We're answering the phone, right? Or we're going to call you. We'll call you, Minnesota. Maybe we can work a deal out, right? If we want May, if Caleb Williams and Daniels goes, and May is there at 3, we're not picking the phone up. We're taking May and we're taking our marbles and we're going home. Right. So, you have to wait and see. I mean, because, they might be in love with 2 guys and maybe not all 3 of the quarterbacks. But I'm saying they're in a prime position either way. I'm saying whatever Mayo wants to do. If he wants to take the quarterback, if they're all in on the quarterback, if they're all in, you take the quarterback. But if not, especially that's one of the things, usually, when you're down that low, you suck. Right. So you need a lot of players. So if you can trade and get a boatload of players, right? Jimmy and Parcells always loved. Oh yeah. Get those extra picks. Absolutely. As I said, you have to be all in on the quarterback, just because they're top 3 doesn't mean that Penix or Nix or McCarthy or what's the guy from Tennessee, or the guy from Tulane, doesn't mean those guys won't work out, and you can get those guys or the Rattle Man, right? Spencer Rattler, so, but it looks like, with the Vikings, looks like they're so once again, if the Giants are thinking about, because I saw a report saying that once again, you don't know, right? I don't know. But you see these reports. The Giants apparently at the combine were reaching out and talking to people and stuff like that as far as maybe moving up. And they're only, I'd have a hard time believing they want to move up to number 3 or 4 just to grab Marvin Harrison Jr. Right. So if they're maybe thinking about moving up, but then again, you don't know. I mean, maybe the teams don't want to move back, or maybe it's too high. Maybe that's why they went out and they made their acquisition. I'll call him the backup, but he's supposed to be he's going to be Drew Lock. He's going to be he's going to be pushing Daniel Jones, but once again, you don't know. But as I said, if they if the Vikings that have some ammunition now to maybe jump up in front of the Giants. So, but the thing is that like with the the Giants and maybe with the Vikings or any of the other teams, you have to be in love basically with like all 3 of those guys. If you're going to do something early, if you're going to make a trade like real like before the draft and all that to go maybe jump up to number 3. You got to be in love with all 3 of the guys. If not, because it doesn't mean just because you got the 3 quarterbacks there that Shane and Dave will maybe we don't like May. if Daniels is there or Williams is there, we'll take one of those. You know what I mean? So some of it might be that last minute kind of thing, right? After Williams comes off the board, apparently, and then whoever comes off the board at 2, whoever's there at 3, right? If one of those teams back there, I mean, as I said, let's not forget about the Raiders, the Broncos, the Vikings, and I don't know exactly if the Broncos or the Raiders, what kind of ammunition they have as far as jumping up. But I mean, the Vikings now have 2 first-round picks. And also then they can maybe obviously send them their first-round pick the next season or something like that. So they got some ammo to jump up, right? The Giants lost a little bit of ammo when we traded around our second-round pick, our own second-round pick. So we did lose a little bit of ammo there. But, I mean, usually if the Giants are going to jump from like 6 to 3, if you go back a few years and you look at what the Colts and the Jets did, right? The Colts were at 3. The Jets were at 6. The Jets jumped up to grab Sam Darnold. So they gave up pick 6, and they gave up 3 second-round picks. So you kind of look at like if that's what the Giants would have to do, maybe to trade up with the Patriots. They'd have to give up pick 6 and give up 3 second-rounders just to go from 6 to 3. You know, now which would work out pretty good because you figure we have 2 second-round picks this season and we'd have 1 next season. But now we only have 1 this season. We got 1 this season, 1 next season. So, but we'll have to wait and see. But there's so many, you know, there's so many stories out there and all that, right? One of the top 3 fell. Who do you mean quarterbacks? Yeah, one of the top 3 fell to what, the Giants at 6, a quarterback? Ooh, I don't know. I mean, that's a pretty. See, to be honest with you, I mean, I've seen some of the tape and I've listened to people talking about it and all and everything. A lot of it, you know, it's like who I like. You know, obviously, who you know, it's basically who does Dable and Shane, who they maybe, you know, gonna. They got all the chips in the middle of the table on one of these quarterbacks. It'll buy them a little bit of time. So like what I've say, Daniels is there, right? If he's there, you know, if for some reason he fell to 6, you know, or May or whatever, you know, it would buy them like an extra year or so, whatever. But you know, it's basically, you know, who, especially Dable, he's like, you know, if you're taking your first pick and you're drafting a quarterback, you know, and maybe he'll sit this year behind Daniel Jones and Locke, and you get him on the sideline, Daniels or whoever it might be, May or something like that, you know, and maybe next season you could put him in there and see. But I mean, if you're wrong, woo, listen to Mel Kiper, but who there is Mel Kiper? Who the? Oh man, that was funny stuff. But I mean, it's like, you know, who does Shane and Dable? You know, I mean, you know, that's what they, you know, I mean, you hear so much good about Williams, but I'm sure he's gone, right? So then it kind of leads you to May and Daniels. I mean, you look at, you know, May's got some very good things to him, but you know, Daniels is you know, he's got to learn to get down. But you also look at it too, is that, you know, some of it you got to start weighing, like, what was it, 2019, the Haskins, Daniel Jones, right? Haskins had the numbers. He had 800 touchdown passes, 1 interception. I think he completed 197% of his passes, right? Daniel Jones completed 1% of his passes at Duke, 1 touchdown, 300 interceptions. And it's like, well, that's a no-brainer. I'm taking Haskins, right? I mean, you look at LSU, right? Hey, I'm taking Daniels, man. He completed 70% of his passes, 1,800 touchdowns, this, that, and the other thing. You know, hey, I'm taking him, right, over, you know. So you have to weigh the stuff out. I mean, you know, Daniels might have 2 first-round wide receivers he threw the ball to coming out in this draft. You know, he's got Kelly, great coach, right? You know, so you got to start, you know, you got to weigh some of that out a little bit. You know, they each have their own flaws to them. You get point guard. Well, that's the thing. I mean, you know, is that who the heck was it? not Schlereth. Can't remember. God. The one guy he breaks a lot of sides. He's one of the. I get him mixed up with Schlereth all the time. But he was talking about after Daniel Jones got drafted by the Giants, he was looking back at some of Daniel Jones's tape at Duke, and it's like he's talking about you don't go to Duke to become a wide receiver. You don't go to Duke to make it in the NFL. I mean he was showing some film of Daniel Jones dropping back the pass and throwing the ball, and like a tight end would be hit him in the chest and bounces on the ground. It's like he's like, come on, man, catch the ball. What are you doing? You know what I mean? See, you got to take that stuff. Take all that stuff into account. Just because Haskins had unbelievable numbers, well, that's because he has unbelievable players, around him. Right? Sorry, I have to mention Patino beating Seton Hall. Sorry, I'm very happy. So, but I mean, one thing, what was it? Paul Dottino was pointing out that he went back, I think like the last 20, I think it was no. I think it was from 2000. I think it went from 2000 to 2020 or something, like the last 20 draft class, not the last 2 or 3, but the last like 20, like from 2000 to 2020 or something like that. He took all the players that got drafted, and he said, just because they got top heavy with quarterbacks does not necessarily mean you got to take a quarterback in the top 10 or this. And because he was saying he was going back like over from 2000 to 2020, he took all the players that got drafted in the top 10, and he said 55% of the top 10 draft picks made the Pro Bowl. Not an all pro, because an all pro is even better. A Pro Bowl, 55%. So it's like almost the top 10 picks. It's almost like flipping a coin as far as to make a Pro Bowl, right? That's one Pro Bowl. That's not, well, they have to make 7 Pro Bowl. No, I mean, 1 Pro Bowl. So if a guy in 2007 gets picked at number 7, just saying, right? And say he has a 10-year career. If he makes 1 Pro Bowl in that 10 year, he gets added to the Pro Bowl list. But he could play 10, 12 seasons or something like that and not make a Pro Bowl. You know what I mean? So it's 55%. The top 10 guys make Pro Bowls. From picks 11 to 20, it's 55, 44, 33. From picks 11 to 20, it's 44. 44% of those players make a Pro Bowl. Picks 21 to 30, and I don't think he included 31 and 32, but just 21 to 30, 33. 1 out of every 3 players, So just because you're drafting somebody in the first round doesn't, basically, if you average it out, 44% of the players taken in the first round make a Pro Bowl. 1 Pro Bowl, at least 1 Pro Bowl. So I mean, just because and Paul Dottino was being rather adamant about it. It doesn't mean you have to jump up. You have to take one of these. If you don't get one of these top 3, you're screwed. I mean, there's a lot of other guys out there. Some like Hooker, Hendon Hooker. A lot of good traits and all that. Great athlete and all that. He just might need, he might need a little tender love and care. He might need a little Dable. Right? Dable might be that quarterback whisperer, right? So get Hendon Hooker. You might have him on the sideline for a year or 2, watching, learning, and stuff like that. And then, after a year, unleash him on the end. He might really do good. Spencer Rattler, right? I can't remember the guy's name from Tulane. I heard a lot of nice things about him. Penix is, heard unbelievable, great stuff about him. His thing is injuries. Can you keep the guy healthy? Bo Nix too. There's some quarterbacks there, but just because as what Paul Dottino was talking about, is that if you take a quarterback in the top 3 doesn't mean you're screwed. You can grab somebody in the second round, maybe develop them. Same thing with McCarthy. But McCarthy's like shooting up the board, so you're not sure how far he's. I don't even think he's going to get out of the teens. But he probably won't last past the Raiders at 13. Yeah. Paul Dottino, Yeah, so I mean, he goes out, he charts all this stuff and writes stuff down and all of that. Yeah, so he said that multiple times. But if you listen to Big Blue Kickoff Live, he's rather adamant about that. He don't want the Giants jumping up to number 3 to grab because you'd have to give up so much. I mean, if the Giants were like one guy away, we had to have a quarterback, and we get this quarterback, we might be knocking on the Super Bowl door, but we got so much. I mean, you got to jump up. You're going to give away like 3 or 4 good premium picks to get a quarterback who may not even be a star. He was pointing out, man, you trade up that far, you get yourself a quarterback, and he don't pan out. Woo! You might as well just start packing your bags, brother. Going into your office and just start grabbing your underwear and just your socks, grab your jock strap, your T-shirts, just throw it all in there. Just close up your suitcase, lock it up, and just, all right, Mr. Mara, thank you. I'm out of here. We blew the 2024 draft. Have a good one. Thanks for the opportunity. Just leave. You know what I mean? Because you're setting yourself back so far. It's like, I mean, like, look at all the draft picks the Giants, screwed up on, I mean, really, I said 2015. I mean, theoretically, we never, if in a perfect world and we didn't screw things over, right? We probably didn't have to draft Evan Neal. Why did we have to draft Evan Neal number 7? We drafted Eric Flowers in 2015. Now, theoretically, he might be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 2022, that was when we drafted Evan Neal. That would have been Eric Flowers' 8th season. Now, maybe he wouldn't be the starting left tackle. Maybe we put him over the right tackle. But, hey, if he's a good quality tackle, 8th season, heck yeah, he's still right. So why did we draft Evan Neal? We don't need Evan Neal. We got Andrew Thomas and we got Eric Flowers. We got our tackles. We're good, baby. Right? Why are we worried about why do we need a cornerback? We don't need a cornerback. Why? Well, because we got Baker, right? We drafted Baker. We traded up back into the first round. We got Baker. We got Deonte Banks and we got Baker, right? What do we need another cornerback for? Well, because no, that's why you did, Gettleman. Right? You jump back up. You got yourself, right? So, set yourself back. We're still talking about, we're still possibly talking, we still need maybe another tackle. We don't know, right? But, Adoree Jackson is gone. Well, we need a cornerback. Well, we should need a cornerback if DeAndre Baker was any good, right? So, but, man, you missed on those draft picks, boy. That stuff will haunt you forever. I watched that after I watched you. Oh, yeah. Smart TV. Ah, there you go. Cool. All right, cool. All right. Thank you. All right, then next here, after that. Oh, yeah. The Giants are keeping busy. Aaron Stinney and Austin Schlottman. I like that name, Schlottman. Now, okay, I'm going to pull the PFF up here. Now, Schlottman, certainly looks like it'd be a very good, certainly a very good backup. Okay. He has never really played a lot. Okay. But if you want some versatility, right? If you want some versatility, Austin Schlottman, he's your man. 2019, he played right guard and left guard. 2020, he played left guard, right guard, and left tackle. 2021, he played left guard, center, and left tackle. He played 3 games. Every game was in a different position. All right. 2022, he played center and left guard. 2023, he played center and left guard. So 2018, I don't think he didn't play at all. But he's played every position. He played left guard, right guard, center, left tackle, and I think did I say right tackle? No, left tackle on. Maybe he didn't play right tackle on. 2027? Nope, he didn't play right tackle. So he's played 4 positions on the offensive line. Right guard, center, left guard, and left tackle. So talking about flat versatility, he's your man. Now, he hasn't, as I said, what is he? He's 28, okay? He'll be 29 kind of the beginning of the season, September 18th. He's never played on the offense any more than 269 snaps. So he's never played, this past season with Minnesota wasn't too bad. Once again, he didn't play a lot, okay? He played 249 snaps this past season, right? Which is not a lot of snaps. I said he played in the grand total. This season, he played 6 games, okay? He was a starter in 3 of them. He graded out of 62 this season, but all his other seasons, he graded out of 48, a 44, a 39, and a 58. Now, okay, with Schlottman, he's pretty much going to seem like the backup center for the Giants. But with Carmen Basillo in there, maybe, we can get a little bit better at it, get some better performance out of him. Now, Aaron, or shall I say, Aaron Stinney, right? Let's see, this past season, was it 2023? Yeah, he played pretty much left guard, right, for the Bucs. He graded out a 56.5. Pass blocking was a 53.7. 58.9 was his run blocking. Once again, nothing super spectacular. He's played in 4 seasons, grand total, right? This past season, 2023, he was his most by far he played in. Every season, he's graded out in the 50s. Now, once again, a lot of it might be coaching. Okay. And, maybe with Priscilla, maybe they can get a little bit better out of him, right? But we got, I'll tell you what, we got a lot of offensive linemen. I think we got 13 of them, I think. Now, of course, some of these guys, like I think from the practice squad and all of that, but we got Andrew Thomas, Joshua Miles, Aaron Stinney, Joshua Zudo and Marcus McKeithen. Don't forget about those 2 guys, right? John Michael Schmitz, Austin Schlottman. We got Jimmy Morrissey, right? John Runyon, and Jalen Mayfield. Don't forget about him. Jermaine E. Luminor, Evan Neal, and Yadni Kajust. So we got a bunch of guys, and let's not forget, we also got the draft coming up as well, too. So we got, another possibility of maybe drafting somebody a little later on. I don't know now because of all the guys we brought in, if we're going to wind up taking, like, say, drafting a guard in the 3rd round or something like that. I think we still, especially since we traded away one of our 2nd round picks, I think if we do draft an offensive lineman, it'll be like maybe the 4th round on back or whatever, because I think we've got 3 picks in the top 70. Right? We need a wide receiver. We could use somebody, a nice guy next to Sexy Dexy, maybe somebody good against the run, but maybe you can get a little better production in the pass rush, because Nacho, you're not getting much out of. Jordan Riley, the DJ Davidson, Jordan Riley, the later picks, Ryder Anderson, you're only going to get so much out of them, period. They could, with the Godfather in there, right? Andre Patterson. I'm sure he's going to make them as best as they can. But, if you want somebody, you can almost kind of plug and play, we might, maybe the 2nd round or the 3rd round, draft a nice defensive tackle to put next to Sexy Dexy. That would be really, really nice. They said we still need a cornerback, because we're not sure, who's going to be the other starter. The one nice thing is I brought this up, and I also read this too, and it makes a lot of sense, is that, what Wink was doing, right, is when you got 11 guys on the field and you're sending 74 of them, right, you only got 2 guys back for, covering the wide receivers. It's kind of tough to play zone with 2 guys, right? So you got man to man. With Bowen, right, what he likes to do is get pressure maybe with 4, maybe send 1, right? But, send the 4, all right, get pressure with the 4, 7 in the back, possibly 6 or 7, Now you can talk about playing zone, right? So, it's a little bit, it's not as demanding, right? As obviously as the man-to-man. If you can have somebody drop in the zone, right? Keep your eye on the receivers or whatever, keep your eye on the quarterback, right? Instead of trying to cover a guy one-on-one with your back to the quarterback, right? Right. So you could probably fill the second cornerback spot, with maybe a second round pick, third round pick or whatever, but he doesn't have to be a Deion Sanders. I really think that getting a nice defensive tackle would be really, really good, especially because like Bowen is very good. He likes to, or his defense has been very good against the run. Wink thought he was, but well, the thing was, our run defense was just horrible, putrid. And I heard it. What the heck I heard? What was it? I think the Vikings were number one as far as sending pressure last season. I think we were second highest, but yet either our pressure rate was like the third lowest in the league, or something really, really horrible, really horrible. I think the Vikings were number one. We sent the second most pressure. We were blitzed and all that, but as far, we only had like 34 sacks. It's like it's not very good at all. And our run defense was absolutely horrible. But Bowen, he's very good at with the run defense. So let's hope that's good in the red zone, good in run defense. So let's hope look for maybe getting a nice defensive tackle early on too. Right, put somebody next to Sexy Dexy. He doesn't have to be a Reggie White or not like that, but because with Nacho, you're only going to get so much in the pass rush. Jordan Riley, DJ Davidson, maybe Ryder Anderson. Their depth, right, and all that. But if you want somebody in there starting, you might want to maybe spend a higher draft pick on getting a nice defensive tackle in there. But so we're keeping busy. What you got here? Giants have agreed to terms with free agent offensive lineman Aaron Stinney and Austin Schlottman. That name. Schlottman, 28, was originally signed as an undrafted free agent out of TCU by Denver Broncos after the 2018 NFL Draft and was named their starting right guard in Week 14 of the 2019 season. He signed with the Vikings prior to 2022 season and was primarily a center for them in 2022 and 2023. All told, he's played 449 snaps at right guard, 512 at center, and 90 at left guard. Schlottman is very unlikely to unseat John Michael Schmitz as a Giants starting center. But, once again, he's a lot of versatility. But he could prove to be a valuable depth piece who could back up all three interior positions. And according to Carmen Brasillo, that's very, very important. Unless you're Andrew Thomas, right? The other guys on the offensive line better be used to playing, or at least practicing in multiple positions. There is no, I'm just the right guard or I'm just the right tackle or something. No, there's none of that. Right? You better get used to practicing at multiple positions. Stinney, 30, also originally came into the NFL as an undrafted free agent, though he was out of James Madison signing with the Titans after the 2018 draft. Stinney was a depth player as rookie and started the 2019 season on the Titans practice squad before being promoted to the active roster. Now, Stinney was with the Buccaneers, right? He was blocking for Tom Brady. He spent the next 3 seasons with the Bucs and played sparingly as a reserve guard. Stinney got the opportunity to start the 2023 season playing 716 snaps at left guard per Pro Football Focus. He gave up 29 total pressures in pass protection last year. He gave up 2 sacks, 2 hits, and 25 hurries as well. He committed 4 penalties on 442 pass blockings. So, you look at it like that. He had 442 pass blocking snaps last season. So that's usually, the Giants are probably going to pass maybe a little bit more of that, especially in a 17-game schedule. So you figure, he gave up 29 pressures altogether. So, could it be better? Yeah. But once again, you're not signing a guy for $15 million a season either. So Stinney could compete for the left guard spot, though he'll he'll more likely compete for a place as a depth piece on the Giants roster, which is quite possible. Yeah, I mean, the Giants got a lot of guys. Let's see. Our front seven usually over. Oh, yeah. Madden would have loved lineman with his name. Schlattman. Oh, yeah, he'd be on the all. He'd be on the all Madden. He might be on the cover of Madden, right? The game, right? Schlattman, the center. But I mean, they're just some depth pieces. I mean, if especially if we draft somebody and take somebody later on, fourth, fifth, sixth round or something like that. We got a lot of guys now. So hopefully, especially with better coaching, right, we can get this. I'm not saying we're going to be a top 5 unit or maybe even a top 10, but can we be in the top half? Is that asking top 15? Is that asking too much? Can we pick up a stunt? Can we pick up one stunt all season? A twist, anything, right? Somebody blocking like this. Somebody's coming around. Oh, I got it. That's a stunt. Coach Priscilla told me that's a stunt. Let me get this. I got this guy. I mean, can we do one of them one year? Just one time. I mean, am I asking for too much? I mean, oh my God. So he's at, so just because we're adding bodies, I mean, he can add me. That doesn't mean we're going to be any better. So on paper, it might look good, but we have to, they have to get out there on the field and all that. And of course, everybody's going to talk. Oh yeah, I like what we got, and we're doing good. But proof is in the pudding. Hold on, I got to move my legs. Oh, my buddy ran here. Okay, he's laying at my legs. I never know which way he's laying. He's laying this way. Is he laying this way? Is he laying that way? So I try to move my legs without kicking them. But anyway, we added a lot of, we've added, 4 guys so far, right? Luminor, Aaron, right? Schlottman, right? And Runyon. So we've added 4 guys so far. So, we've, right? Like you mentioned coaching. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just, oh my God. It was just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Just trash. Absolute trash. Oh my God. So I really think we'll be in a nice, pleasant surprise. I'm not saying, as I said, we're going to be the top offensive line or nothing this season, but I really hope it will be rather pretty much improved. I said what Priscilla did last season with the Raiders was pretty. I said, I think they had a first rounder. I think they had a third rounder, a fifth rounder. I think there was 2 undrafted free agents on that offensive line they had, and they were pretty good. Pretty good. No clue. I mean, it was just, I saw, because the one nice thing about being associated, I'm like associated with like 30 different giant groups on Facebook. And I'm always scrolling up and down and looking and stuff like that. There was a couple times last season, McKeithen was in there. And a couple times there was like pictures taken of McKeithen blocking, right? And there was one time, or just 2 times, I think there was. He was like actually facing the backfield, like facing like Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is in front of him, getting ready to throw a pass like this way. And McKeithen was like facing like the backfield, like blocking. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, he was like one of those electric football men. He got turned around and he turned around. He's facing his quarterback and he's going to, it's like, what are you doing? I think it was specifically, I think it was McKeithen 2 times. He was in like some type of a position. Like, it was just like, oh. I think one of them, I think he was facing the backfield, right? He got turned around. I don't think it was a defensive player around him. He got turned around looking at like Daniel Jones, whoever the quarterback was. Another one, I think he was blocking his own guy. I think it was. I think whoever the tackle was, maybe it was Neil or so, whoever the tackle was, he was like trying to block him. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Oh my God. I'm not sure if he's the guy that was on the field. It was either him or Zudu when Van Ginkel, I think, ran around him and just annihilated Daniel Jones. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, that play there with Marshall, that was funny because Meyer, I think it was George Meyer, or he threw the ball. I think he threw the ball, and it's just weird. But I mean, he threw the ball to Billy Kilmer, so he had a quarterback drop back to pass, threw a ball. A quarterback threw a ball. A quarterback caught the ball, fumbled the ball. George Marshall picked it up and ran the wrong way. So he had two quarterbacks on the one play. But then again, that was the 49ers back in the 60s. So what do you expect? And speaking of stuff like that, we got ourselves, I think I lost count. It's either 317th or 318th. After 300, you start losing count. A blocking tight end. We added another. You can never have too many blocking tight ends. If you got a 53-man roster, count me in for 49 blocking tight ends out of the 53. I don't care. 49 blocking tight ends. The other four guys in the roster, however you want. Maybe a quarterback, a punter, maybe a field goal, maybe the water boy. I don't know. But give me 49 good blocking tight ends, and we're there, baby. We're there. So we got ourselves another one. Oh my God. Chris Manhertz. This guy's he's got some experience though. He's appeared in 120 career games with 53 starts. So in 120 games, he scored 26 passes for 271 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's 6'6", 235 pounds. Originally entered the league as an undrafted free agent in 2015 out of Kansas, signing with the Bills. After failing to make the Bills roster, he moved to the Saints. I mean, the Panthers. Hold on there. I got him. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see. He was with the Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, Carolina, Jacksonville, and Denver. So he's been on 4 different teams. But let's see, he has 2 career touchdowns. What did they say? What did they say he has? Targets, game receptions. He has 26 receptions. 120 games. He has 26. So he is not a receiving threat. So we had what Stahl, right? Blocking tight end, right? I mean, Manhertz. Let's see here. He's a good blocking tight end according to PFF. That's all I'm going by. Was it last season? 2023. His pass block grade last season, according to PFF, was a 73.1. His run blocking was a 58.5. But in years past, right? I mean, his pass blocking is not bad. 2022, he played with Jacksonville. Okay, played with Jacksonville. His pass blocking was an 80.5. His run blocking was a 63. 2021 with Jacksonville, his run blocking was a 73. 2020 with Carolina, his run block was a 69. Then it was a 63, a 62. His pass blocking has been a 61, a 61. 2018 with Carolina, his pass block was an 86.6. So, he decent blocker. Decent blocker. So, okay. So we got some pass blocking tight ends on our. We got some blocking tight ends. We need. We can use more of a pass receiving tight end. Of course, they cost money. So, now of course we're still waiting on Waller. We're waiting for now. I'm not because we keep bringing. We got Bellinger. We signed Cager, right? Then we just picked up 2 more tight ends. I'm not, then we still have maybe Waller. I'm not sure how many tight ends we're going to need, but so maybe it's kind of like maybe Waller's more leaning toward maybe retirement. I don't know, but we need, I'm sure Waller's probably not going to be here much past this season if he does play. So somewhere along the line, we're going to need, Bellinger's a nice guy. Bellinger's got some great hands. Bellinger's got to do better blocking because he did not block very well last season. But he can catch some passes. But if you want a threat, we need somebody else. Once Waller leaves, we need somebody else. Waller retiring would be good, and we could save some money too. Then I brought this up too, right? Brought this up. Now, probably not going to happen, whatever. But if Waller was to retire, right, before the draft, so say it picks, because there's a lot of good wide receivers. So in the second round, there'll still be good wide receivers there. You're not going to get a Neighbors or a Dunzier or Harrison. So the next wave or whatever, or the second, when you get to the second round, it comes down a little bit, but there's still some very good wide receivers there. Okay. So that's kind of like, since we have 700 blocking tight ends on the roster, I mean, probably not going to happen. But if Waller was to leave and we needed a receiving tight end, would the Giants go out and grab Bowers? Right? Because then you got Bellinger who can maybe do a little blocking, a little receiving. You have yourself your dog of a receiving tight end. Then you can go out in the second round, grab a nice, maybe not a dog of a receiver, but you get yourself maybe a real good wide receiver in the second round, but you'll have yourself a really good receiving tight end. We need a wide out. Well, I like a Dunzier, yeah. I like his size. Yeah, but then again, you don't even know if he's going to be there. The thing is, unfortunately, is that, just you don't know. Once again, you don't know who's trading up, who's doing this. You don't know. But the thing is probably, possibly, right? 3 quarterbacks will be gone, and possibly by the time the Giants pick at 6, they're going to get the third receiver. So hopefully they like either Neighbors or Dunzier, if that's the way it falls. Because if they like either one of those guys, and right. So you look at it like no matter what, right? If the Giants stay at 6, right? There's guaranteed to be either a quarterback there or one of those top 3 wide receivers. Guaranteed if they stay at 6. Now, whoever falls to them, you don't know. Are they going to like that person? You don't know, but it's guaranteed. One of those 3 quarterbacks or one of those 3 wide receivers is going to be there at number 6. Guaranteed. So I said, if the Giants fall in love with all 6 of those guys, they're good. Especially, as I said, if for some reason one of those quarterbacks fall to them, if they're in love with those quarterbacks, right, they're good. The pick 6 is no man. You don't know who's trading up, who's trading back. The thing is that was like we were talking about. You guaranteed to get one of those 6 if you like them. You just don't know who it's going to be. You're just sitting there waiting, unless you want to trade up and give away some draft capital. But you're just sitting there. Okay, Williams is gone. Okay, next May's gone. Next pick 3, Daniels is gone. Pick 4, okay, Arizona or whatever, they take a Harrison Jr. Okay, so who's it going to be? Is it going to be Neighbors? Or going to be Dunzier? Pick 5, a Dunzier. Okay, well, we're left with Neighbors. Can we, do we like Neighbors? Can we live with them? So as I'm saying, you're at the mercy of the other 5 picks, that's for sure. But, hey, crazy things happen. Somebody might take Alt. Who knows, right? The Chargers, they still might take Alt. You take one of these blue chip offensive linemen, because in the second round, there's some good wide receivers in the second round, right? And Harbaugh likes to run the ball, right? So he might take one of these offensive linemen, right, to help maybe with the running game to protect Herbert, right? And he come around in the second round, then he grab themselves a wide receiver. Yeah, never know. Well, Bo Nix. The thing is with Bo Nix, I just what I hear. That's all. He's like more of like a second round pick. It's just what I hear. I don't watch. I don't have time to spend 18 hours a day watching film and all. I don't have that time. I don't have that time at all. So that's why I listen to all these guys, talk about that. But they're talking about maybe Bo Nix being maybe a second round pick. Now would he be there at 47? The Giants got what? 47, 70, and 107, I think it is. I think 7s are wild. We got 6, then we got 47, 70, and 107, I think it is. 77. But you got to put all this stuff in context too. Oh yeah, absolutely. But, as I said, Haskins completed like 70% of his passes. And he comes to the NFL and he's not that good. So. But, no, it's hard to argue with 77% completion percentage. But once again, it's not what I think. It's what Shane and Dable think. That they're looking at stuff, and if they fall in love with one of these guys, I mean, hey, certainly, absolutely, maybe in the second round, absolutely. We got at least two guys on the roster: Tommy Chicken Cutler. We got Daniel Jones and Locke. Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan might go on the practice squad. Right? But if we draft somebody, we got to have to roll with three quarterbacks, right? Because you're not putting Daniel Jones in the practice squad, you're not putting Drew Lock on the practice squad, you're not putting one of our draft pick on the practice squad. So we have to go with three quarterbacks. Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan will go on a practice squad. But as I said, I mean, if they fall in love with Nix, maybe in the second round if he's there, right? If they think they can work with him. Sure. As I said, the nice thing about that, for them anyway, that would give Dable like at least another season, right? Do you think Locke pushes Jones? Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, absolutely. Now, the thing is, I mean, Jones will be ready as soon as he humanly possibly can. But I mean, how I don't want to say how effective, but I mean, I mean, that's, a lot of Daniel Jones is some of his athleticism. Is that going to slow him down at all? Coming back from that, is he going to be a little, he's going to be a little, usually they say after like an ACL, usually like your second season that you're back, you're maybe as good as you were before. Oh yeah. I mean, the ACL, his neck, I mean, so yeah, I wouldn't doubt it at all if Locke pushes him. It was funny listening to his he had a press conference today, and he said he knows Daniel Jones, and one of the guys asked, well, how do you know Daniel Jones? And they said at the Senior Bowl 2019, he said him and Daniel Jones, they were roommates, so he knows Daniel Jones very well. Yeah. I mean, after that, I'm sure not that they talk to each other every day or something like that, but they were teammates at the Senior Bowl. Roommates. So they're well aware of each other. So, I'm sure he'll push. And usually the most, I don't know, the fan favorite, especially when the team isn't doing good, the most favorite guy on the whole team, if the team's not doing good, is the backup quarterback, right? Everybody wants to see the back. Let's put the backup quarterback in there, right? See if you can spark something, or But I think Locke will push for him. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And then it leads me to Giants are among the biggest spenders so far in free agency. Now, to be fair, the biggest thing, right? Does it say they spent well over $200 million? I think it was. All right. Giants entered the offseason with approximately $32 million in cap space. They were expected to make at least one splash signing, and the rest would be fill in the value. That's precisely what General Manager Shane does. He made the one big splash with Burns, right? Then of course we made a ton of other signings, right? So I mean, over here, of course, they don't even have Schlottman in here. They don't have Stinney in here, right? This list here that they got. They don't have Manhurts in here, but I mean, they got Casey Kreider, Gunnar Olszewski, Carter Coughlin, Nick McLeod, Runyon, Singletary, Luminor, Burns, Locke, Mills, McKenzie, and then the three guys report into. So was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So at least 14 guys so far, we brought in. So, but I mean, a lot of the guys are relatively on the cheap. I mean, Casey Crowder, cheap. Gunnar Olszewski, 1 year, $1.25 million. Carter Coughlin, I'm sure he can't be much at all. Nick McLeod, 1 year, $2.985 million. Drew Lock for $5 million. Jalen Mills, I'm sure he ain't going to be much at all. McKenzie, I'm sure he ain't going to be much at all. Stinney, I'm sure he's not going to be, him and Schlotman are not going to be a ton of money either. But, it says here we're one of the biggest spenders in free agency, which is true. But, if you take the one guy out, if you take Burns out, $150 million, $30 million a season. That's why the Giants have spent over $200 million in contracts, with the free agents. So, that's why the Giants, obviously are way up there as far as money spent in free agency, because of the one guy. You take Burns out, take his $150 million contract out. And, Giants are well under $100 million that they've signed. Rodgers maybe VP, he's not worried. Jones was Rodgers maybe. Do you think Shane moves those later picks to move up? Well, that's a possibility too. Yeah, that's a possibility. Absolutely. We got, as I said, 107. So we got some good ones. Certainly. I said we had two. We had the first 2 seconds, right, and then we had the third and the fourth. So we had like 5 of the top 107. Of course, now one of them's gone, but we still got 4 of top 107 picks. Still got some nice, and I wouldn't put it past him. If he thinks like what we did with Hyatt last season, right? He was saying Hyatt's kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. So we moved up however many spots it was to trade with the Rams, where we gave away our 3rd and our 5th to them to move up and grab Hyatt. I wouldn't, if it means, like, especially in the 3rd round, right, to maybe move up, like 10, 15 spots or so, whatever, and snatch somebody who might be a starter for you. Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all. He did that last year. Oh yeah, because we still got holes, obviously, but the amount of holes we have are starting to come down a little bit. And I'm trying to look at it like long term here. So hopefully between this season and next season, especially next season in free agency, and if we have the nice draft, a lot of the holes we have should really start dwindling down to a precious few. We're not missing on a whole heck of a lot here. You figure, we got our front 3 on the defense, right? If we, could use another defensive tackle, right? So, right. So if you had another defensive, that's 4 guys, right? So you only put 11 guys on the field, right? We ain't going to have too many. Can't have too many linebackers on the field, because if you're going to have 3 cornerbacks and 2 safeties, like nickel coverage, right? Right. So you can only have so many. And we got Micah McFadden and we got a Karake, right? So we got 2 guys there. We got our 3, and we got Burns. We got Kayvon, right? We got Sexy Dexy. So that's 5 guys, right? Then you got Banks, right? So we could use another defensive tackle. We'll have to see how we do with the safeties. I'm not exactly sure, what they're going to do there. But we could use a defensive tackle. We can use a cornerback, So, they're starting to come down. But I said, between this season and next season, we do grab a quarterback. Do we grab Bowen likes the 3-man line, another nose tackle on the 3-4. Do you think Shane? Oh. Do we grab? Oh, I think so. Oh yeah, I think they. Yeah, I just the stuff you hear. I would be surprised if they let this draft go, because there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the top 3. Now you could probably pretty much kiss McCarthy goodbye. I'd say the Giants taking him at 6, and I'm sure he'll be gone by the teens. It just seems like anyway. But if we don't get a Daniels or May or Williams and McCarthy, as I said, the other guys, in later on, there's quite a few. There's quite a few of them. Quite a few of them. Between the 2nd and maybe 3rd round, maybe even the 4th. I heard like Hendon Hooker might possibly maybe be a 4th round pick, because he's more of a project. But I can certainly see the Giants taking a quarterback. Absolutely, sure. Payton loves McCarthy too. What? Sean Payton? Where the heck are they picking at? from the Broncos, Sean Payton. Where did he? Oh, yeah. So what are they? 12. The Raiders are 13, Broncos are 12, and I think the Vikings are 11. So yeah, so he may not. I mean, well, the thing is too is that I mean, if the Vikings trading up, but yeah, I mean, same. But what are the Raiders going to do? Do they think they can trade? You know what I mean? Are they going to trade up? Do they like McCarthy? Right? Because you figure possibly now, right? Maybe you can pick the phone up and call Atlanta. You don't need a quarterback no more. You think we can trade up? So it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of guys. There's every year. There's always guys. It's like, well, I wonder where this guy's going to go. I wonder, what I mean? So how high is McCarthy going to go? The quarterbacks. Penix went. Where's he going to? Does he make it out of the first round? Where these other guys get drafted at? I've heard Spencer Rattler too. Maybe like a third round pick on him. So, but oh yeah, I could see the Giants draft themselves a quarterback in this draft. There's a lot of them. Certainly a lot of them, and it's not like what would you say? It's not like Bill Parcells is the coach. Yeah, I mean, we draft a quarterback and let Bill Parcells, he'll work his magic with the quarterback. No, we got Brian Dable. He's got a good mind, but if he sees somebody that he really thinks he can work some magic with, I'm sure they'll try to do whatever they can to grab him. As I say, plus could possibly be the quarterback for the future, but also I said it'll also possibly give Dable at least maybe another year or so, before his seat starts to get really, really hot. What is the Vikings like? Zach Wilson, they get. Good old Zach Wilson. I mean, it's like the freaking Jets. I mean, how many quarterbacks have they drafted? I mean, Wilson, right? I mean, Darnold. I mean, they're jumping up to get these quarterbacks and all that, and they just keep striking out, right? And then they get Aaron Rodgers. He plays 4 plays, and his whole season's over with. It's like, man, they're snake bitten. I mean, absolutely snake bitten. Man, I almost feel sorry for him. Not quite, but almost feel sorry for him. Yeah, but I'm saying, but you see how I just set your if you guess and you guess wrong, you see how it just set your club back. His name is, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you name it. That as unbelievable as he was. I mean, after you won Super Bowl III, you never beat another team with the winning record. That's hard to believe. Monday Night Football, I think he was like 0-7 or something like that on Monday Night Football. I mean, Richard Todd from Alabama, he was supposed to replace, right? He was supposed to be the next coming of Joe Namath. Didn't turn out. I don't even think. Well, no, I think they won a playoff game with him. 81, they lost. They lost to Buffalo. 82. They went to the championship game, 82. They lost 14-0. That's when A.J. Dewey had 8 career interceptions. 7 of them was in that championship game. I mean, it was just A.J. I think he had 3 interceptions in that one game. I mean, I think he had 4 for his whole career. I think 3 of them were in that championship game. There was the kind of like a mud ball or whatever. 14-0. The Dolphins won. Yeah, but I mean, Richard Todd was supposed to be he was an okay quarterback, but the mud bowl. Oh yeah, Namath didn't win that Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know if he'd be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he never he didn't throw a touchdown pass. He didn't throw a pass in the fourth quarter. But I mean, he had a great Super Bowl, and he predicted it and all of that and everything. But I mean, if he didn't win that Super Bowl, would he be in the Hall of Fame? I don't know. I mean, he took a team to the, but then you start looking at all the negative. He throws so many more interceptions. I think he had like 220 interceptions. He threw 175 touchdown passes. I said after the Super Bowl III, he never beat a team with a winning record. That's hard to grasp. Hard to grasp. No quarterback hit the wide open. Oh yeah, man. Richard Todd. Well, that was one of the things. It was in that the 81 playoff game. It was in Shea Stadium. They were playing the Bills. That was a great. If you ever, I think it's on YouTube. If you ever want to see it, it's a great game. Really exciting game. Well, the Jets got the ball. I mean, the Jets were behind. They were behind almost the whole game, but they kept coming back. Well, they got the ball and they were marching down the field. I think it was for the go-ahead touchdown or the tying touchdown or something like whatever it was. And damn it, if Richard Todd didn't drop back the pass, I don't know. It might have been a linebacker. He just threw the ball over the middle, right to a Buffalo Bill guy. It's like, yeah. But I'll tell you, that was in there very exciting. Back then I was a little, because back then 81. I had just moved here from Long Island back down here. I moved here in 77. So I'm always like, the Jets are my second favorite. By the big difference between the Giants and the Jets, but the Jets are my second favorite. So back then the Jets were still my second favorite and all that and everything. But also in 81, let's not forget, on Saturday, the Giants beat the 13-10 in overtime. They beat the Cowboys. In 81, the Giants were 9-7. That was Saturday. They had to wait. Couldn't have been Monday. Maybe they had to wait. They had to wait for Sunday. They had to wait for the next day. The Jets had to beat the Packers for the Giants to get into the playoffs. That was 81. So the Jets didn't beat the Packers. The Giants don't make the playoffs in 81. So the Jets beat the Packers. They killed them like 27-3 or something like that. They whooped up on them. So that allowed the Giants to get into the playoffs because of the Jets in 81. So, that was the first season ever that the Giants and the Jets both made the playoffs, 81, because, the Jets made the playoffs 68 and 69. And that was it until like 81. And all of those other years, the Giants never made the playoffs. And that was the first year the Giants and the Jets both made the playoffs. My dad and uncle went to a lot of Jet games. Yeah. Well, I went to Shea Stadium quite a bit, but that was to see the Mets. My dad, I don't know what it was. My dad, maybe it was, I don't know. It was too cold. I'm not. But he never took me to a Jet game. He took me. We never went to New York City. Maybe he didn't like to drive in the city. I don't know. But I went to Islander games, the Nassau County Coliseum. I went to Net games. I saw Julius Erving when he was playing for the Nets, and I saw the Mets. We never went to see a Jet football game. I was always I don't know, but we never went into, because my favorite teams were the Knicks, the Mets. But the Giants, the Knicks, and the Rangers, they all played in the city. We never went to the city. He never, I don't know why. He did. Maybe he didn't like to drive in the city. So he took me to games, but they were all in Long Island. But I never saw a Jet game. Never saw. Because if he did take me then, I probably would have saw Joe Namath play. It was really cool. It was a cool. It was kind of a dump, but especially with the wind whipping around and all that stuff and everything. Giants and New Jersey Generals. Oh yeah, there you go. Brooklyn Queens Expressway. Yep, and the Long Island Expressway. Oh yeah, yep. Oh yeah, yep. Long Island Expressway. I was up and down that a lot, especially when I was a kid in the 70s. Oh yeah. We lived in Brooklyn, Yonkers, Jersey City. Oh, okay. I was my mom was born in Brooklyn. I was born in Queens. But basically, right after I was born, because they lived in a small apartment, it was my mom, my dad, and my sister, and then me. So when I got born, when I was born, there was obviously 4 of us in a really small apartment. So we moved out onto Long Island. We moved out to Bethpage. So I was born in Queens. I might have lived there. I don't know. I had a cup of coffee there. I don't know. I don't even know how long I was there for. But I was in Bethpage for like 5 years, from 64 to 69. And then from 69 to 77, I lived in Esconset, which was out farther in the island. It was a smaller town. It was in Smithtown. And Nesconset was in Smithtown. Smithtown was the bigger town, and Nesconset was a smaller little town in there. Whatever, you know what I mean? Then in 77, we moved to South Jersey here. So I've been here since 77. Park Slope, 3rd Avenue. Where is that? North Bergen, or is that Jersey City, or what is that? 3rd Avenue? Park Slope. No, I never heard of that. Born in Jersey City, raised in Brooklyn. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, as I said, my mom was born in Brooklyn. She had Brooklyn. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'll be back again tomorrow. 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's almost a record. I think 1 hour. I think I did 1 hour and 20 minutes one time before. So almost at a record. So Jersey guys, always, buddy. Good talking to you. Join me. I'll probably be back again tomorrow. If I'm not tomorrow, I'll be doing one of my games. I'm in the 1926 season. The Giants are going to play the Providence Steamroller. Ooh. So because it is the weekend, so there may not be much of anything going on tomorrow night, especially with maybe free agency or whatever. So we'll have to wait and see. Man, I'll probably be doing a video no matter what. But if it's not one of these Giants things, I'll be doing the Giants and the Providence Steamroller. I think the Giants win 21-0. Ooh. All right. So, hey, whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.